Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we are going to be shoutcasting some play Pokemon local tournament battles. This trainer on Twitter, I don't know how to pronounce their name. I assume it's a Icelandic name. Anyways, they were very gracious enough to not only organize the tournament, but also collect the recording and put it into a pretty interesting format. There's going to be a lot of matches. I think there's like 9 matches shown from various people playing in the tournament. So shout out to everyone that has participated in the tournament. So we're going to go ahead to the first game here. And we're going to see BB Chugnus versus Clark Nato. Anyways, we're gonna see Galarian Stunfisk versus Greninja. The Greninja actually chooses to bait, which is an interesting call there. But I guess the thing is, like, one Hydro Cannon doesn't KO the Stunfisk anyway, so this might be an appropriate play. And they come into Drapion into the Greninja. I couldn't tell what the fast move is. I think it's it looks like it's Fight. Fight is the fast move, and the Drapion has Fell Stinger, which is obviously gonna do some gonna allow it to boost its bite damage. But this Charbug is not gonna shield at all. I'm gonna go for the big farm down, and then here comes Galarian Stunfisk. Gonna go for the X-Scissor since it is only single resisted as opposed to the discharge being double resisted. It actually does a pretty nice chunk of damage, and this will be enough to take it out. So we will see the shield because there is a Charizard in the back. And will this Charbug shield? It will shield the Earthquake, which would do quite a bit of damage. Obviously, the bait move Rock Slide would be really handy here, be able to get to a little bit faster and as well deal super effective damage. And we're going to see the Charizard come in. It is actually a Dragon Breath variant, which is not going to be allowed to get there fast enough. And this discharge should be enough. As you see, the Volt Switches already did a tremendous amount of damage. So very nicely played. And we're going to go into the second match here. We're going to have a repeat of the same lead here. But this time the opponent has 2 good answers in the back and staying in for quite a bit. Is this going to cost them? They're going to go straight Sludge Bomb. That's the only move they have, but it's going to do a pretty good amount of damage. And it does do quite a bit of damage. And we're going to see the discharge come through. And we see the Toxicroak really wanting to fight for Switch. It should be able to control Switch if it double shields here. And which is going to be pretty important here. And they actually do end up double shielding. And we're going to see, oh my gosh, end up getting Charmed down, which is very unfortunate. It definitely had the move here, but is in a pretty good spot now, because this is a Charm Alolan Ninetales. It will dish out the neutral Weather Ball, and we're going to see the Earthquake. They're going to actually catch it onto Greninja, but the Greninja is going to shield anyways, and we're probably going to see a switch out. Oh, gonna shield. Gonna have to switch out here, and Altaria has a pretty good matchup into. Oh, it's actually a Peck version of Altaria. Is that better or worse? That's definitely better against the Alolan Sandslash, but only rocking the Dragon Pulse here. These Night Slashes are chipping away at this Altaria. Unlikely that Greninja is going to be able to make it to another one. And the question here is, will it grab a shield? If it grabs a shield, okay, no, it does not grab a shield. Oh, actually, does grab a shield. Does grab a shield. What am I saying? Does grab a shield, and that actually might prove to be the costly decision here, because this Alolan Ninetale is not going to have enough power to take out this Galarian Stunfisk before it makes it to an Earthquake. Who said it wasn't possible here? And this Galarian Stunfisk lands the Earthquake, which is going to be enough to take out the Alolan Ninetales. I think I might say Alolan Sandslash, but Alolan Ninetales. We're going to go into a decisive game 3, and we're seeing the exact same lead, exact same team. And we're going to see the immediate swap out, and they're going to come into Salazzle. And it is a CMP tie. Okay, going to shield the Poison Fang. It would be resisted, but does want to control Switch here, and does result in the defense fall. And they do end up shielding. The Salazzle should be able to farm down. But will this... Oh, no, actually going to choose to throw the move. And this Toxicroak is doing all it can to be able to control the switch here. Oh, unfortunately, he's not able to make it to the move there. Going to go into Altaria and going to look to peck down this Salazzle. But this Salazzle is going to be able to make it to another Poison Fang, drop in the defense. And here comes a Alolan. Oh my gosh, a Alolan Ninetales, which is eating away at this Altaria. And this game is certainly over. This Galarian Sandfish should be able to survive this Hydro Cannon, but we'll do a tremendous amount of damage. And we're likely gonna see, okay, gonna shield. I was gonna say no shield is probably fine too, but it really doesn't matter. And gonna be able to farm down, and then the Night Slash should just be enough to take out this Altaria, throwing at very good timing. Clerk NATO cleaning up this first game. And we're gonna go ahead. All right, we're gonna go into the second match here. We're gonna have Rich Star versus Place Felice here. Anyways, very interesting Pokemon. Croc, I'm so terrible with these new gen Pokemon, but this is the evolved form of Fuecoco. And picking up a very good core breaking matchup where it does very well against Alolan Sandslash and the Medicham due to its fire and ghost typing. And the Medicham actually chooses to no shield and gonna go into Dragonair. Gonna look to shield the Psychic and farm down. And this Dragonair actually rocking a very interesting moveset. Dragon Breath, Wrap, and Dragon Pulse. This is a very old school Dragonair. Does not care about the Body Slam or the Aqua Tail, and gonna go for the Wrap. Bait doesn't do that much damage because it is resisted, and this Alolan Sandslash is gonna look to double up and then throw the Ice Punch. This is definitely enough. Gonna choose to no shield, and we're gonna see how it's gonna play out. Gonna go for the Incinerate. Gonna have to shield this drill run, and gonna throw the Disarming Voice right away, predicting the switch. Very nice play. And then gonna look to switch to Umbreon. Gonna bank the move before switching. And this Pelipper does have 2 shields on its side, and this Umbreon does not have any shields. And we are gonna see the Hurricane come through. Does a tremendous amount of damage. We're gonna throw 3 Snarls, then throw the Foul Play. Should do 1 more Snarl and throw the next Foul Play, potentially grab less shield, but still going to be a very close game here. And oh my gosh, ends up throwing on CMP. This Hurricane is going to be enough to take out this Pelipper. Oh no, take out the Umbreon, I should say. And we're going to see the Disarming Voice come through, but unfortunately the Pelipper still has a shield, and it's going to be able to wing attack down before it can take it out. Very exciting game number 1. And we're going to see Diggersby versus Lantern. We're going to see what moveset this Diggersby has. Quick Attack, Scorching Sand, and Hyper Beam. And this Lantern has Spark, Surf, and Thunderbolt. So we see the Surf come through. It does a pretty good amount of damage. The Scorching Sand is not going to one-shot. I'm going to at least try to build up and make it look like it's an Earthquake. But the Scorching Sand is not enough. And we see the attack fall. Going to bank a move and then switch. And we're going to see what the opponent's going to do. They actually let them throw the move, which is going to force a shield onto this Diggersby. And we see the immediate swap out into Alolan Sandslash. Gonna go for the draw run. Both moves are neutral, but the draw run is slightly more energy efficient. Gonna try to throw as late as possible, and then gonna throw the high horsepower. We're gonna see whether or not this Alolan Sandslash will shield. It will not shield, and we're going to see the Pelipper farm down. Oh, actually going to come in Golbat into the Pelipper. This is a very unexpected play just because the Lantern does resist all the moves versus Pelipper, but this Lantern does have a Surf banked. So we're going to see how this can play out. Plus, I guess the thing is that Golbat, none of its charge moves really hurt Diggersby because Poison Fang and Shadow Ball are both resisted. So maybe this is the 5-headed play here. And we are going to see the Shadow Ball come through and take out this Pelipper. Does a tremendous amount of damage. Unfortunately, this Diggersby is going to have to throw versus this Golbat. I'm going to have to throw the Hyper Beam. But remember, this Lantern has a move bank. I'm going to do 1 extra Spark just for good measure. And going to be able to take out this Diggersby. Very exciting game number 2. And we're going to go into game number 3. Decipher's game number 3. Umbreon has a favorable matchup versus the Shadow Claw Alolan Sandslash, and they are going to, oh, interesting. They're going to attempt to catch the move onto Medicham, but staying in. Should switch to Golbat as soon as possible, but it is a CMP tie. Going to look to chip away at this Medicham. then hopefully switch to Alolan Sandslash, switch to Golbat, and gonna throw the foul play, and we're gonna see a shield on the Medicham side. Are we gonna see a switch? Okay. Oh, tried to catch the power up punch. The question here is, oh, gonna go for the bait here. Oh my gosh, huge bait, and gonna have to throw here and gonna throw on CMP. But is this Poison Fang enough to take out the Medicham? It is enough to take out the Medicham, and we see this a little. Oh, gonna throw the bait and actually gonna choose to no shield the Poison Fang, the potential Shadow Ball, which would do a tremendous amount of damage. Oh man, is this gonna shield here? But this Alolan Sandslash is loaded though. And then choosing not to throw the Poison Fang, though I think Alolan Sandslash does win CMP. And oh man, okay. Oh, actually gonna choose to come into Lantern onto the Alolan Sandslash. It's gonna take the super effective drill run. Oh my goodness, this is not what you love to see. And this is a thunder. I just realized now this is a thunder. Oh my gosh, gonna no shield the. Whoa, this is wild here. Are we going to see a massive farm? Oh, they're actually not choosing to farm down. Maybe farm down there, it actually would result in the win because I don't think the Lone Sandslash would be able to survive another Snarl here. And this Ice Punch is probably just not enough. Oh, it is enough here. Oh my goodness. And winning a very exciting, that was a very, very back and forth third game there. And we're going to see Clarknado versus Place again, and we're gonna see. Oh, actually going to a terrible matchup here. Oh, unfortunately, look like getting a hard counter the whole way through. This is actually so terrible for Clarknado. Predicting the exact correct team here. We're gonna see a shield here. Gonna try to do everything in its power to try to flip the switch here, or maybe potentially draw a shield. Gonna go for the bait, and we're gonna see the shield. Definitely, I don't think we'll be able to survive another charm, but let's see. Nope, not able to survive another charm. But the thing is, you can farm down here, and then the disarming was still going to do a decent amount of damage. You definitely don't want to shield this move. Gonna be resisted. Oh, and they actually come straight into Greninja, and they have the Hydro Cannon here. Wow, aggressive play by the opponent. And they're gonna go for the disarming voice. This is pretty tough here, especially with what's in the back. And gonna catch the move here. But man, this Greninja is gonna look to sweep the team. No problem. And gonna throw another Hydro Cannon. And this is definitely game over for, well, maybe this maybe actually definitely will make it to a move here. And then we'll see if this little guy here is gonna be able to sweep the team in the back. Probably not. This Charbug is going to be way too tanky here and dishing out way too much damage, and makes a beautiful catch here onto the lovely Ninetales. Not that it really mattered because they would have survived the move anyways, but it's still a very nice catch, and we're going to see the discharge come through and take it out. Very nicely played. And we're going to go into game number 2. Picking up a beautiful lead here, and we will see what this Greninja is going to do. It looks like it's going to choose to stay. Going to throw the Hydro Cannon. I believe they actually do the same damage in this scenario here, and they come into Charbug here. And going to throw the Surf, which is going to deal some neutral damage, but should look to switch to its Fire type as soon as possible. And will switch to the Fire type. Was going to try to catch Exeter, I presume. Gonna shield and look to potentially farm down, but they will make it to another move. Probably doesn't need to shield this. This will do some pretty good amount of damage, but not enough. Gonna look to farm down. Gonna be able to farm down. Is loaded with this. Okay. Oh, they actually choose to come into Galarian Sunfist and actually shielding. Probably not knowing what the move set this thing has. Gonna go for the crunch. This thing's pretty tanky. These Mudshots are not doing very much damage. It looks like it will make it to another crunch here. Oh, gonna switch. Gonna try to catch the move there. Unfortunately, it was not enough to catch the move. And this Fire type is frozen on the right-hand side, unfortunately. And oh man, okay. Gonna probably no shield this, I presume. But let's see. We'll end up shielding, and they do come into Greninja. Gonna throw the Poison Fang. It's definitely not enough to KO, but gonna shield. And the Night Slash should be enough here, and throws on CMP, very nicely timed. And this Night Slash should be enough to take it out. And I can figure what's in the. It is a Lantern. The Lantern, they're gonna look to spark all the way down, potentially here. But this Night Slash does a pretty good amount of damage. You're gonna be able to farm down, and this Surf is almost certainly gonna be enough. It does around 40% to Galarian Stunfisk, and it is enough. And we're gonna go. Well, actually, no, it's just barely not enough. And we're gonna go into a decisive game number 3. We're gonna see. Oh my gosh! Ends up with the worst lead possible, but has a huge core breaker in the back, choosing to stay. Very interesting. And gonna try to catch the move there. Fortunately, the opponent does not. Oh man. Okay. Well, this is very bad here. Gonna throw the Surf. This is a very tough situation here. This Alolan Ninetales still has a ton of energy, which is gonna be very difficult to beat. And we're gonna see a shield come up. Really wants to somehow force a switch here. And gonna go for the Thunder. It would be enough, and the opponent chooses to shield. That is absolutely devastating here. Will this Venusaur be able to farm down? They will choose not to farm down. But do you come Piloswine here and hope to sweep with Piloswine? Yep, that is the answer. But unfortunately, gonna be able to make it to a move. You have to shield this. Have to shield it. And they come into a Lonely Ninetales. Oh man. Okay, gonna go for the bait. Man, you have to try to catch a move here. This is the only way here. The only way. Oh man, they are gonna go. Oh my gosh, this is gonna do a tremendous amount of damage. I don't want to see this. Oh. Maybe this is game over here. I'm just gonna move on to game number 4. So match number 4. Very well played between those two, and we're gonna go into the 4th match here. We're gonna show up. We're gonna see Rich Star versus Set Sin Bull, something like that, and we're gonna see the battle of the poison types. Both fast moves are resisted, but Toxapex is much tankier than Toxicroak. And we're going to see how these two are going to decide to play it out. The Brine is not enough to KO. And we see a very interesting backline. And Toxicroak looks like it's going to be able to take the 0 shield here just barely. And we're going to see Medicham come through and counter down. And we're going to see the Mud Bomb come through. And this was a really important switch here. Well, not super important, but gonna actually end up shielding here. That is very devastating. That is very bad. And oh man, and they actually catch the move onto the Alolan Sand Slash, and we're gonna see the switch here. But this thing is very tricky for this team here. It does have a type advantage versus both here. And this is gonna be a tricky situation here, and we're gonna see how these two decide to play it out. Gonna go for the Ice Punch. I think this is the correct play. Probably needs 2 charge moves anyways to KO. The drill one would do slightly more damage. And choosing not to throw here, unfortunately, on the CMP tie. Gonna shield. Definitely could have thrown beforehand and then potentially no shielded the Stunfisk. Gonna go for the Mud Bomb. This. Oh man. Oh, they make a beautiful catch here onto the Medicham. And it is enough, but this, will they be able to farm down? They will not choose to farm down. They don't need to. This, whether or not this Noctowl can make it to the Shadow Ball, but maybe the Sky Attack is enough here. I don't think this Ice Punch is enough. Noctowl is pretty tanky and has the Shadow Ball, and honestly, the Sky Attack is probably enough too. And gonna be able to win this game despite a really beautiful catch onto the Lone Sand Slash. The alignment was really important, though. The Shadow Claw variant is much worse than the Powder Snow version versus the Noctowl. As you can see, it's a very close matchup. And we're going to see Lantern versus this Shadow Claw, Alolan Sand Slash. And that they will throw the Draw Run. Get a no shield. And potentially... Okay, well, that's terrible breaking news there. And we see the Medicham come through and catch the Thunderbolt. Probably going to come into Noctowl. Question here is probably going to go straight for the Psychic. The problem here is that you likely have to throw versus this Medicham, though I guess the pup doesn't do that much damage. I'm going to throw right before the pup. I don't mind this play. Potentially could have took the pup and still farm down. It would have been really close. Oh man, this Pelipper is kind of a nightmare in the back. And we're going to see the Shadow Ball come through. Will we see a shield? Probably will just barely be able to survive. And going to throw the Ice Punch as soon as possible. But this Pelipper in the back is going to be very difficult to deal with. And we're going to see the farm down. And we see the Pelipper come through. Needs to throw the Thunderbolt here. Honestly, probably would have been better throwing the Surf, hoping that they wouldn't shield. And that Spark damage should come in later, which it did. But this is a very tough situation here. Like, can this Toxicroak prevail here? You need to fast move down this Pelipper. No point. Well, not no point in shielding. No point in throwing. If you can get to... Man, the Mud Bomb is not going to be enough. I think you're better off farming down. But maybe if you get the second Mud Bomb here, which I don't... Oh man, actually able to make it to the Mud Bomb. The Weather Ball almost certainly would have been enough there. And making the correct call, throwing double Mud Bomb there, though the opponent definitely should have thrown the Weather Ball, and that would have been enough. And Sin Ball coming through. Very nicely played. And we're going to see BBB Chugness versus Place here. And we're going to see Galarian Stunfisk versus Lantern. But this is a single move Stunfisk, which means that it can't bait. And we're going to see the Surf come through. Doesn't do quite enough. And gonna catch the Earthquake. Very nice catch. Very, very nice catch. The Earthquake is a devastating play here. But we're going to see this Galarian Stunfisk staying. Gonna throw the bait. Successfully gets the shield. But does Place know that this is a single move Stunfisk? Gonna shield. Thought it was a Rock Slide. And they should come into Altaria. This is a Peck Altaria. So its fast moving pressure is not as devastating. But we're gonna see a Poison Fang come through. And this is what you want to bait out, right? Because otherwise this thing would be very tough for the evolution of Fuecoco to take care of. And we're going to see Lantern come in with these. The resistance versus the Peck is very huge here. Going to take the Dragon Pulse and look to farm down. These neutral sparks are adding up because of the debuff. Are we going to see the Galarian Stunfisk come through? No, we are going to see a Toxicroak come through. And gonna throw the Surf. The Surf would do neutral damage, but it would be pretty devastating here. And gonna throw another Surf at this Toxicroak. It's gonna put it below half. Yeah, but the Toxicroak should be able to farm down. But the thing is, it doesn't have that great of charge moves for... Oh man, this is a dangerous play. Could have been a Mud Bomb here. We're gonna take the damage. It's actually gonna be a slide. Oh my gosh, that actually did... Oh, it's actually not a Ghost type. I just realized it's not a Ghost type. It's actually... Gonna go for the crunch here. I actually did not realize it was not a Ghost type. Okay, and the crunch is enough to take it out. Wow, okay, that was very interesting. Okay, well, and we're gonna see Piloswine versus Galarian Stunfisk. But since it's a single move, Stunfisk is actually a pretty decent situation. Actually, gonna call the bait here. But will we see a shield? Will we see... No shield. Will still be able to survive the Earthquake, but does a tremendous amount of damage. And this is going to to be pretty tough for Chugness unless it can control switch. Okay, gonna try to catch the move. That is not ideal here. Are we going to see the Toxicroak come through? No, we're going to see the Galarian Stunfisk stay. Gonna force it to throw. Gonna shield, hoping to land this Earthquake. Really needs to land this Earthquake, and as well force this Lantern to shield again or potentially take the damage. Ooh, okay, they actually come into Noctowl, trying to catch the Surf there, and unfortunately for them, this Lantern has a Thunder, which is going to do a tremendous amount of damage. Gonna look to Spark all the way down, but they will make it to the Sky Attack. This is going to be resisted damage. It's not going to do too much damage here. and we're gonna see Toxicroak come through. Unfortunately, this Toxicroak is not gonna go for the Surf. Needs 2 moves anyways to KO, so this kind of makes sense. But gonna switch out into Piloswine, hoping to catch the move there. But just gonna force this Toxicroak to throw its energy, and we're gonna see Golbat time come through and farm all the way down. And this Glaring Stunfisk without Rock Slide has nothing it can do, and we're gonna see a Shadow Ball take out the Galarian Stunfisk. And we're gonna go into the 6th match that we're gonna show off here. And unfortunately, only got recording on one side, and we're going to see Toxicroak versus this Charbug. This is actually a pretty interesting matchup between these two. And actually going to throw on CMP. The Charbug throwing after 3 Volt Switches. And this is enough for the Discharge, which is to do neutral damage. Not going to be enough to KO, but would do quite a bit of damage. And will this Toxicroak be able to make the move? No, it will not. Stunfisk can eat alive this. Oh man, that is very bad here. That is very, very bad here. That is, they actually ended up shielding the Mud Bomb, which is actually significantly worse. Gonna have to double shield here. I don't think there's a win con here. I think this Venusaur is gonna be too difficult to deal with. Gonna throw right before they make it to another Frenzy Plant. This I think will be a, yeah, trying to avoid the CMP. Gonna shield, but maybe he can take out this Venusaur. Should be able to make it to 2 Mud Bombs here. Gonna throw right away, hoping the Venusaur does not shield. They're 4 away from another one here, and they will switch out into Greninja. Gonna bank the move. Very nice play. Gonna catch the maybe Hydro Cannon. Gonna catch the Hydro Cannon, which is very nice play. But man, this might still be too much to deal with. This is Venusaur can farm down afterwards. You kind of have to like soft lose this matchup. No, gonna throw. Oh man, that is okay. I'm not sure about this play here. I'm not sure about this play. This Charbug is gonna come through and throw the move. Ooh, okay, it's not enough. Not enough. And this Charbug gets a little bit more energy. This is pretty bad here. This X Scissor is probably going to be enough. Oh, it's not quite enough here, but this Mud Bomb is going to be enough to take out this Charbug. But unfortunately, this Venusaur has a bit too much health to be able to Thundershock down. We're going to go into game number 2. We're going to have both sides. We're going to see a repeat of the same lead, and we see a very interesting backline matchup here. So winning the switch is going to be really important here. Makes a beautiful catch onto Shadow Steelix. Very nice play here. And we're going to see the Salazzle come through. But Salazzle is made of paper. And its charge moves are not that devastating to Steelix. And we're going to see an immediate debuff. But does have Fire Blast here. There's okay, going to go for the bait here. And we will see the bait. And it is a Poison Fang bait. Fearing of the Fire Blast. Okay, gonna double shield here. Really wants the control switch. But this Venusaur is still could be kind of tricky to deal with in the back. Gonna look to immediately swap here. And gonna throw the breaking swipe. Really should stay here. Okay. Okay. And we're gonna see the Sludge Bomb. This is a nerf to Sludge Bomb. Did have a nerf breaking swipe before. And then gonna look to switch. And we're going to see the Mud Bomb come through. This is actually going to be a close game here. But Sin Bull should be able to win this game. This is not going to be enough as we saw previously. But will the Toxicroak be able to make it to the move? I don't think so. Oh, actually will be able to make the move. And that's actually really devastating for the opponent. And going to be able to land the Mud Bomb and take it out. And this Venusaur is not going to have enough energy to be able to take out this Noctowl. And we're going to see a Sky Tackle. We're going to go into a very exciting game number 3. Are we going to see repeat leads? Are we going to see something different here? We will see. We're going to see Toxicroak into Greninja. Very good lead for the Toxicroak, but these Hydro Cannons do hurt. And they do come into Salazzle. And going to throw the Mud Bomb. Should switch to Lantern here. We're going to see whether or not Centibot is going to be able to switch to Lantern. and gonna take the Poison Fang. Makes a very nice catch, though. The Poison Fang would be resistant on Toxicroak as well. And we see another Poison Fang come through. Gonna shield this time. Doesn't want to concede switch. And then gonna throw the Surf, and this Salazzle is saying no thanks. I'm not gonna shield. We're gonna see Venusaur come through. Gonna throw the Thunderbolt. Only gonna be able to make it one charge move. This will do more damage. But this Greninja is loaded. And so is this Venusaur. And they will throw a Sludge Bomb. Gonna shield the Sludge Bomb here. This is a very interesting play because this Greninja might be able to go off here. Gonna take the Hydro. They're gonna need 2 Hydros to KO. Gonna switch out into Toxicroak. Oh man. But this Hydro Cannon is definitely gonna be enough to take out this Toxicroak. Gonna look to farm down here. But you need 2 moves here. This Venusaur is actually gonna be able to win the game here, right? Gonna throw the move. Probably was better off, honestly, probably trying to farm down. Because this Venusaur is definitely gonna be able to outpace. And this almost certainly will be enough. And you don't see this every day. Completely hard counter. Clerknado coming back and winning the game. And we're going to go into the 7th game of this tournament here. We're going to go G.I. Joe versus Clerknado. And Clerknado picking up a very positive lead, making a very nice catch here. But this is a very tricky situation here. They actually will throw the Hydro Cannon. And does have Grass Knot, Moonblast. This Night Slash is not going to be enough here. You want to do 1 and throw the Grass Knot. Though I don't think the Grass Knot's quite enough to KO here. It's definitely going to potentially warrant a shield here. It will warrant a shield. And they actually will catch the move. I didn't see what they caught the move onto. Oh, onto Charabug. Oh, that is very rough here. Oh man, this Greninja like hard beats this entire team. And we're going to see the drill run. No shield. Okay, gonna shield this. Okay, I was gonna say I'm not necessarily sure you can shield this move here. Okay, gonna double shield here. Oh man, this is pretty tough here. Gonna farm down. Okay, gonna throw the Ice Punch bait into this Greninja. They actually will end up shielding, but man, this Hydro almost certainly will do enough here, and this Hydro Cannon is going to do a devastating amount to this Sableye. Oof. Oh, honestly, might be able to make it to... Oh, they actually choose a Night Slash here. Okay, interesting. And then here comes Venusaur. Needs to return this Venusaur, but is not going to have enough time. And Clerknado coming through and sweeping the team here. Man, but Greninja is super good against team. Really needs to bring the Azu. But we will see. Oh, man. Okay, brought Registeel this time. And then probably going to look to do the same thing. And does the same thing. But we'll see if this is going to be a bait or if this is going to be the Hydro Cannon. Is the Hydro Cannon. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, not enough to KO. But going to shield here. And then look to do... Oh, they come into Charbug here. Good timing with the Moonblast. This is quite bad here. And we're going to see the Moonblast come through. It's not enough. This X-Scissor is not going to be enough to KO either, but it's still going to do a pretty good amount of damage and definitely going to be able to fast move down this Cresselia afterwards. Could have did 1 then through the move here, but getting off this Moonblast is the most important part here. But it's not going to be enough, but they will end up shielding. Gets the defense drop here, or the attack drop I should say, which is valuable. This is very valuable because this discharge is not going to be doing as much damage. But gonna throw the Drill Run. Probably could have threw the Ice Punch and would have been enough. And we see the oh my gosh, the Salazzle is gonna look to clean up here, and they actually catch onto the Greninja. Oh man, okay, this is interesting here. You definitely don't shield this. This is actually a pretty interesting situation here. Potentially could win this game. You gotta let this go. Oh. Wow, this is absolutely devastating. You're gonna go for the focus blast. Really good timing there. But this Salazzle is about to fire blast this Sand Slash. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. 1 HP, fire blast here. Here we come. Oh my goodness, this Alolan Sand Slash had children. Unfortunately, they're all gone now. All right, we're going to go into match number 8, and we're going to see Place versus Set Sinbot. Oh, okay, picks up a interesting lead here. Um, Obviously, super effective. Okay, they're going to try to catch the move there. Will throw the crunch because does not have a direct answer to this. You're gonna throw another one. Then look to go to Umbreon now. Umbreon. Okay, gonna go to Umbreon. Needs 2 moves to KO this Lantern. But the Steelix is still very problematic. It's still very healthy. Has lots of energy. Gets a sneak there. Surf will not be enough. They need probably 2 more charge moves to KO here. They both need 2 charge moves to KO. At this stage, we're gonna see a shield. And we're gonna see another foul play here, and we're gonna see Toxicroak come through. Gonna look to try to make it to the move. Will not be able to make it to the move, and we will see. Will he switch to Golbat? Will switch to Golbat. Doesn't need to shield anything, but do they know that? You don't need shield anything. Gonna look to full farm down, double resist the counters, resist the Mud Bomb. Probably would have been better off throwing the Sludge Bomb. Make at least 1 Sludge Bomb. I don't think would have made to 2. And needs to throw this Shadow Ball. Oh, okay, interesting here. Like weird CMP tie here, and we're gonna see Poison Fang. Definitely gonna shield this, and then look to one and throw the Shadow Ball. Okay, we'll throw the Shadow Ball this time. Unfortunately, is not with because the attack dropped here. Gonna switch, and oh man, okay. Well, you just shield this and then throw the crunch right away. Gonna throw the disarming voice for the disrespect here. But will the Steelix actually make it to a move here? Oh, okay, no, will not, unfortunately, for the opponent. Picks up a very nice win, and we're gonna see Dragon Air versus Toxicroak. Interesting matchup. I believe Wrap is more expensive than Body Slam and Aqua Tail, so it will take a little bit longer to get through. It gonna no shield this Mud Bomb. It's not gonna be enough. The Wrap plus the gonna switch out here and then unfortunately bait out the Lantern. The Lantern will no shield. This Lantern's gonna definitely farm up quite a bit of energy. Does have to be careful of getting Shadow Ball later. Gonna throw the Surf. Actually, we're gonna see a shield here. Very interesting shield. And then gonna look to bait, and we're gonna see a shield. Probably gonna see straight Surf. Oh, actually gonna throw the Thunderbolt. Gonna let this go. And go into Piloswine. Piloswine is gonna look to try to sweep here. Gonna throw the Avalanche. We're gonna see a shield. Really wants to get off this Surf versus this Piloswine. And we're gonna see a shield come up. And are we gonna see a catch here? Oh my gosh, very nice catch. Very, very nice catch. But this Toxicroak is still alive, right? Gonna have to throw at it. Gonna have to throw at this Lantern. This Toxicroak is gonna be too difficult to deal with, though. Maybe if would have been able to farm down the Toxicroak before it made a move, but honestly, actually, okay, no, oh, maybe farm down there, then you could win there. I think actually the farm down would have definitely resulted in the win, because one Avalanche is definitely not going to be enough to take out this Unova Stunfisk, and the Mud Bomb is going to be enough there. Actually had a pretty good win con there, but we're going to go into a decisive game number 3, and we're going to see, oh man, Battle of Electric Types. This is an interesting matchup between these two. Let's see who it ends up favoring. Probably needs 3. They probably both need 3 charge moves. They almost certainly both need 3 charge moves. We're gonna see a shield. Yes, 3 charge moves because the sparks are double resisted, even though the surfs do slightly more damage. And we're gonna see, oh man, we're gonna see Toxicroak into Umbreon, and we're gonna see the last resort. It's gonna do put it below half, but still not quite enough. And gonna throw the Mud Bomb bait. Convinced that place really wants switch. Unfortunately, does not get the shield. And this last resort. Oh, unfortunately, had the energy to throw the last resort, but maybe this is a 5-head play, trying to come out with more energy onto the Golbat. But unfortunately, 2 anti-flyers in the back. Oh man. And we're gonna see a discharge, and we're gonna see a no shield from the discharge. Gonna go for the bait here, but unfortunately, the no shield is gonna occur here. This can just okay, and we're gonna see. Gonna throw the mud bomb. We're gonna see the shield, but honestly, this Stunfisk just has too much, uh, too much energy, and gonna be able to make it to an. Oh, actually, choosing to go for the discharge there. Definitely had the mud bomb already, but this doesn't really matter here. Despite it being super effective, it's not going to be enough. And going to go for the disrespectful discharge. Actually, not enough to KO. And going to go for the Mud Bomb, which is super effective. And going to be able to win this game here. And we're going to go into the final match here. We're going to see Rich Star versus BBB Chugness. And we're going to see one of Toxpec's worst matchups here. That is very bad here. But though I think this this Stunfisk is just only has 1 charge move. Right, so it just has straight Earthquake, so it's not gonna be able to Rock Slide and farm down this Toxapex, which is pretty good. But though Light arguably has 2 better answers in the back. This will be gonna catch the EQ. Maybe was hoping to catch the Rock Slide there, but this is a single move Stunfisk, so it does a pretty good amount of damage. And this is a quicker attack Diggersby. Oh man, that is not pleasant for the Diggersby. Get a no shield again, and this CMP tie to the Scorching Sand. Oh man. Oh, actually, we'll end up shielding this thing, but this Diggersby will be able to outpace to the next move by 2. And we will see the Scorching Sand. Will we see another shield? We will not see another shield. And we're going to see Toxicroak come through. The question here is, can this Toxicroak counter down this Tox? Oh, actually chooses a no shield there. That's a very interesting no shield. And I'm going to have to try to farm down. Oh, definitely should try to farm down here. Because, oh, they actually end up sludge bombing. I think farming down, you win there. Oh, man. But 1 Ice Punch is not enough here. This is actually going to be... It's very... Well, obviously it does a tremendous amount of damage. It is not enough. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, that was not expected. BBB Chugness coming through with a very nice win. And this is a favorable matchup for the Alolan Sandslash, especially since it only has a single moved Earthquake. The Stunfisk will still win the 0. Oh, makes a beautiful catch onto the Earthquake here. The Earthquake does a tremendous amount of damage. It's gonna come. Oh man, this is not good here. We'll get the CMP tie for the Sludge Bomb. Hopefully this okay, gonna undercharge this Weather Ball. Probably gonna get like actually gonna end up shielding here. And then gonna throw before they make it to another move. Could have farmed up a little bit more, potentially farmed down to be honest, but gonna go to the safe play. And we're gonna see the Stunfisk come back through, and we're gonna see another Weather Ball. Man, is this Is it Charizard in the back? Is it Charizard in the back? Oh no, it's actually the knocked out. Oh yeah, knocked out. Oh, actually running a triple flyer team, knocked out Altaria and Charizard. And gonna look to farm this all the way down. Oh, not choosing to farm down, but this Alolan Sandslash is his knockdown was actually pretty good in the back here, but this Sandslash has a shield to hide behind, plus a good typing versus this Noctowl. And I believe this Noctowl is actually probably single moved, and they probably actually does need to shield this, and then probably can just come back into Medicham and look to counter down, or it'll just throw another Ice Punch here and take it out. All right. And I think that was only 2 games there, but that's okay. And I think it was 1-1. But anyways, here is the final standings. We're gonna see Clerk. Is it Clerk I NATO? I don't know. Or Clerk in Ato? I don't know. And then GI Joe. And then in third place we see Sets in Bowl. Something like that. Anyways, thank you very much for sending me these battles. Very fun tournament. Hopefully everyone had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed shoutcasting that tournament. And I was going to leave there. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.